I'm a conservative antitrust scholar and former Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the previous administration, and I'm here today to speak in support of the America Act. Let me begin by saying that everything about online display advertising is enormous. According to the DOJ's complaint filed in January of this year, publishers sell more than 13 billion advertisements every day. The daily volume of digital display advertisements grossly outnumbers by several multiples the average number of stocks traded each day on the New York Stock Exchange. Not only is the volume staggering, the margins are also staggering. While the New York Stock Exchange, as Dina just mentioned, makes less than 1%, less than $5 on a $100,000 stock trade, Google intermediaries make approximately 40% or $40,000 compared to the NYSE's $5 on a $100,000 ad campaign. As a result of Google's revenue, it makes approximately $280 billion a year or $767 million a day. It makes more revenue from ads in 1 week than Twitter makes in a year. A third aspect about online advertising that is enormous is the enormity of the problem. It is almost completely unregulated market with neither litigation nor legislation curbing the harmful conduct. Nearly identical practices in financial markets would result in severe fines and even criminal sanctions in the case of insider trading, but are completely unregulated here. Just as insider trading in the early 20th century was commonplace, according to one commentator, historian, taken as a matter of course without indignation, without even a passing comment in the early 20th century, today we have the exact same problem in the display advertising markets. Google makes billions in revenue from its dominance at every level of the ad tech stack. Some will tell you that these markets are competitive because they are vertically integrated. But vertical integration can be beneficial if it eliminates double marginalization. Here, Google is enhancing triple marginalization, with high margins on the sell side, high margins on the buy side, and high margins on the exchange in the middle. As introduced, the America Act prohibits entities with significant digital advertising revenue, only the largest of the large advertising players, from owning and operating entities across the ad tech stack. In the digital ad tech market, there are several advantages to structural separation. Let me offer just a few. First, structural separation recognizes the limits of regulatory behavioral remedies that are difficult to devise, implement, monitor, and enforce. The same reasons they prefer structural remedies in merger review is the same reason it's important here. Second, structural separation eliminates or minimizes the conflicts of interest that Dina just mentioned. Third, structural separation eliminates or reduces the risk of cross-subsidizing and steering products and services to your preferred exchange rather than to a more competitive exchange. Fourth, structural separation improves transparency and information flows. And fifth, structural separation eliminates or reduces incentives to restrict competition. Finally, let me close by emphasizing why conservatives should support the America Act. I want to emphasize that the legislation is consistent with conservative antitrust values, and the list of co-sponsors that have been garnered already just in this early stages of the bill underscores that point. While litigation is appropriate to curb big tech abuse of power, it is not sufficient. I obviously am a strong supporter of litigation. I'm involved in the case brought by Texas against Google, but it is not enough. Attorney General William Barr, in his memoirs, has a whole chapter on big tech. And there are two reasons, according to Attorney General Barr, why targeted regulation of big tech is important as a complement to antitrust litigation. And again, remember, this is after having brought the search case against Google and recommending the ad tech case. So according to Attorney General Barr, these markets have powerful network effects, prone to monopolization, and second, they impact not just competition, but the collection of personal data and the free flow of information. According to his memoirs, let me just quote, "I have natural reservations about imposing a regulatory framework on market activities, as most conservatives do, but the reality is that some markets and market conditions require a degree of regulatory intervention. In this case of big tech's major platforms, it is hard to see how the challenges they pose to competition, privacy, and the free flow of information can be addressed in the absence of a regulatory framework." I look forward to taking your questions. Thank you.